Hi. Hey, Cindy. You're going to be a busy lady today, huh? So I'm late today because I stayed up till 6 o'clock in the morning talking to Morbid Angel's boyfriend last night, and found out quite a few things. He's definitely heartbroken. Yeah, they really didn't know. When she was diagnosed in July, and they really didn't. They thought they could beat this. Um, and from the time that they called the ambulance to the time she got to the hospital and passed away was 9 hours. There was nothing they could do for her by the time she got there. And he was on one side holding her hand, and his dad was on the other side holding her hand. So she was not alone. She had people with her. But she didn't want anybody to know. She just, I guess, for whatever reason, she thought they could beat this. And it was the type of cancer it was, in case anybody's wondering, was lung cancer. I asked him if it was COVID related. It had nothing to do with COVID. It just was, hey, Shaggy girl. It was just, unfortunately, was lung cancer and was too far gone to even treat it. By the time she got to the hospital, I guess she was non-responsive by the time they called the ambulance, got her to the hospital, and from the time she was in the hospital to the time she passed. He said she wasn't aware of anything. He goes, just before she passed, she opened up her eyes and looked at him. The last thing she said to him was, I love you. He has been talking to her daughters about a memorial. She didn't want a memorial. So for those of you who have asked, unless it changes, she did not want a memorial service. So I'm not sure about if her daughters are going to change their mind. They have seen my memorial video to her and his videos that he had of their life. Apparently was him and his dad, and she was living with him and his dad. So yeah, it was, hi Lou, hi anybody who I didn't say hello to, hi Gemma. So yeah, I had a long time. He's beyond devastated. He's so I stayed in there until his phone actually died last night, and that was like early in the morning. But yeah, he's broken. But he was with her right until she was called to heaven. So it's just all around sad. I take a little bit of comfort knowing that she wasn't spending endless days in the hospital, with wires and stuff hooked up to her. Hi, Diana. One of my good friends of 9 years passed away 3 days ago of cancer. And I was talking to her boyfriend last night for quite a while, and he just let me know what was going on. But he has been in constant contact with her daughters. Of course, her daughters are very sad, very devastating, because they really thought that, hi, Angela. They really thought that she could beat this. They didn't think it was as bad as it was. I mean, you're diagnosed in the middle of July and you pass early September. It spent only 9 hours in the hospital before passing away. Like, by the time she got to the hospital, the doctors told her there's nothing we can do except make her comfortable. So she was not aware. She was not suffering. At the end, they made her as comfortable as possible. He said just before she passed, she opened up her eyes. So I'm pretty sure she was being called home and she knew it. I had to, for my own peace of mind, I had to find out how, that he said she just wasn't aware towards at the end when they had to call the ambulance for her. She just wasn't aware. She was very young. She was very young. You don't expect it with, okay, when you've lived your life, you're older. I mean, you kind of expect it. But not younger, not so much younger. And which reminds me, I have 3 grandchildren, not 1, not 2, but 3 that have COVID. My daughter-in-law has COVID. So far, the 5-year-old and the mom, my daughter-in-law, are the ones that are really sick. Hi, Kyle. Happy TGIF to you too. It's been kind of a tough week for me. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Taryn. Yeah, so far it's just been the 5-year-old and my daughter-in-law that have been really, really sick with it. So yeah, it's just like, oh my gosh, I don't know. And I had a long talk with Tawanda last night, and she's going through a lot. Also, if you guys can find it in your hearts to send out prayers to her, because I believe her daughter-in-law's been diagnosed with COVID. So it's just, this virus is just horrible, Yeah, the ages of my grandchildren are 5, 8, and 9 months. But the 9-month-old and the 8-year-old don't seem to be. Jojo, I found out, I talked to her boyfriend last night for quite a while, and I found out what kind of cancer it was. And she was only in the hospital for 9 hours before she passed. So from the time they called the ambulance for her to go to the hospital, and the time she got to the hospital was 9 hours. And her dad was on one side holding her hand, and he was on the other side holding her hand. She was not alone right up to the end. She is not alone. So we can take a little bit of comfort in that. Yeah, he's broken. He's broken hearted. It's going to take a while for him to heal. I asked him if he's in contact with her daughters every day. And they're sharing memories and things with him. So but she doesn't want a memorial, and she didn't want everybody to know about the cancer. So, some people are private like that. They just don't want people, especially on this platform, on YouTube, because no matter what you say on YouTube, people will say receipts or it didn't happen, receipts or it's not true. I'm so sick of hearing that on here. Like, I'm so sick of it that people won't share like they use, like they should be able to share if they want to. Yeah, hugs to you too, Jojo. I know she had so many people that loved her. And he kind of takes comfort in knowing that a lot of people commented on his, you know, his video where he informed everybody about her passing away. He takes a lot of comfort in that. So, I just told him it was just a complete shock to me. He said, well, she didn't really want to share it with anybody. That's how private she was. And even the videos that he put out yesterday, she had told him he wasn't allowed to share them, but he wanted to share them because it shows a different side. He wants to show the happier side of how happy she was with him and stuff. And she was truly happy with him. So it is heartwarming to see those videos and see that during the end, she was, happy. It's extremely hard watching someone you love die and knowing there is nothing you can do but simply be there. Cindy, and they thought, they didn't know that it was, they knew it was cancer, but they thought it was kind of curable. You know what I mean? Like they thought she would get past it. And they didn't think, the last time she went to the hospital, even he said, she was non-responsive. They called an ambulance, got her to the hospital. And he said, they thought they would take care of her and she would be back home. It was just that sudden, even for him, knowing that she was as sick as she was. So, yeah. But he's broken. He really is. Yeah, he had to struggle with that because she had asked him not to. Hi, Christy. Has anyone gotten the COVID booster shot? The doctor is giving me one today along with the flu shot. Christy, I think we have to wait 9 months from, I think it's May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So January or February, we have to wait till. We are getting our flu shots, though. Not take a chance, why not? My partner's separated dad died in April. He is having a nervous breakdown. I understand. Exactly. And he was struggling to talk last night when I was talking to him. I could tell, like I was okay because I could cry. I was typing. My grandfather passed of lung cancer 4 months after he was diagnosed. Yeah. I used to, it's not funny, but I used to harp on her about smoking because she would be like coughing and stuff. It's funny because some people can have, can smoke all their lives, 2 packs a day or whatever, and never have any problems with their lungs. And then some people, can pass very quickly from it. It hasn't been 9 months for me either. They said it's because of my health. Oh, okay. I understand, Christy. I don't know. My husband and I are healthy, so the only thing we were looking into getting was the flu shot. We just don't want to catch the flu. And now our daughter-in-law and 3 of our grandchildren have it. So, God, it never rains, it pours, right? Right, guys? It doesn't rain, it pours. I don't know if I can take anything else on here. I really don't. And no more bad news. I don't want any more bad news. Please, just don't give me any more bad news. I'm just stressed and worried. I was hoping someone had already had it. I haven't heard any bad things about it, Christy, if that gives you any comfort. I had just found out I was pregnant with my oldest son, And he was so excited, soon to be 31 years old, years ago. Sadly, he didn't make it to see him. I had just found out I was pregnant with my oldest son, and he was so excited. Soon to be 31 years ago. Sadly, he didn't make it to see him. Oh, I'm sorry, Cindy. Oh, I'm so sorry. This has been just so horrible for so many people in here. Like, I don't know what else can go horribly wrong in this. Don't forget this community. I'm kind of totally done with all this garbage on here. I am. I'm just totally done. I'm not going to listen to phone calls. I'm not going to watch hateful videos. I'm just not going to. It's just like one person has to go after another, one after another. Hey, Pixie Dust. Life is so hard. I just wanted to let you all know, because someone had reached out to me and asked if they could, send flowers or do something for her. And apparently she did not want anything. She didn't want a memorial. I don't know I don't know if she's going to be cremated or what's going to happen with that. I guess her daughters are going to make the final decision. So I'm just not sure about that. Hi, Gemma. I try to be positive on my channel. Yeah. It's just that you see so many that are just all about bullying and bashing and outing people's text messages and phone calls. And I'm like sick of it. I'm sick of it. I don't want to see it. I don't know about you all, but who cares what you talked about in private? I don't. Like, get it out. Get it out. I mean, who records a phone call just so they can use it against them sometime? Like, to me, that's a loser. I refuse to watch any lives or videos that are going after the ones I love and care about. Nothing they say will change the way I feel about those I love and care about. Life is that the end goal? I think the end goal is to turn people against a certain person, and it's ridiculous. If you like someone, you like them. You don't have to like, I know people go after me all the time. I just don't watch it. I'm sorry. I don't watch it. I'm not going to watch it. I refuse. They can have their hate and their disgusting bullying. I don't want it. I don't want it on my channel. I've told my moderators, if you see people being bullied in here, delete them. I don't give a shit. I don't want it. I mean, you can't defend yourself on, and even if a video isn't even about you, and I've seen this done multiple times, someone in the chat will attack a certain person, and you know who you are, asshole, and then bring my name into it. It's ridiculous. Like, get a life. Get a freaking life. I have to stop myself from saying what I want to say, but anyways, that was the one-sided conversation. Anyways, Carla. Yeah, it was. That's what I noticed too. It was a one-sided conversation. Never believe a one-sided conversation. Never believed a one-sided conversation. I think that's kind of convenient when you don't have two sides of a. Yeah, it was kind of last minute, Ash. I was talking to Morbid Angel's boyfriend till 6:00 this morning. So, yeah, she is. She is. And thank God, you know what? She was smart. Here's why Morbid Angel was smart. She stayed in her own side of YouTube, didn't bother anybody, had her own friends, had nothing to do with the drama community. She was smart. She was very smart. I didn't sleep well because of my back. Oh, I'm sorry, Ash. I don't know if you were listening, but when I was talking to Morbid Angel's boyfriend last night, he told me from the time they called the ambulance to get her to the hospital and the time she passed was 9 hours. So she didn't even spend a whole 24 hours in the hospital. I'm so sick of the DC. Oh my God, I hate them so much. Yeah, me too. It's like, well, here's the thing. I mean, you guys who hate it so much, don't watch it. Just ghost them, mother effers. Because, if you're not watching it, or if you are watching it, you're part of the problem. Don't say you hate it and then go and watch them. I'm not talking to you, Ash. I'm just saying, like, a lot of people say, oh, I hate the drama. And then they're over there typing in the chats. Like, come on. Hey, Joy. It's just the 5-year-old and my daughter-in-law that are really sick with it. The 5-year-old brought it home from school, and that's how they found out they even had it. She brought it home from kindergarten. So she's sick, but it's more like a cold with her. My daughter-in-law, it's a little worse. So I'm a little worried about her, but I left last year, just dipped my toe into the good people I met over 3 years. Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, Life Rewinded. Life Rewinded lied on me. She said, oh, I always liked Carla and I went into her. No, you didn't. You were in a chat saying, I always liked Misbehaving, but I never really liked Carla. So quit lying. Do you actually think that people don't send me like screenshots? God, I hate when people lie. And then that's not a problem. I don't care if you hate me, but don't be sitting there going in a chat saying I never did anything to her and she hates me. I never even knew you didn't like me till I saw that screenshot. Because I had never had a problem with you. But don't lie. Don't lie and say that. I mean, my God, I never said that I hated you. I'm sorry, Ash. I mean, had I not seen that screenshot, I never would have known she even said that because I wasn't in that chat. But someone showed me a screenshot where she said, oh, I always liked Misbehaving, but I could never stand Carla. And then she sits there in a chat saying, oh, I don't know what I ever did to Carla that she hates me so much. Oh my God. I mean, these people are ridiculous. They can't tell the truth if their tongues were notarized. I mean, come on. Joy, did I say hello? Good morning. I don't know. It just boggles my mind. And then they sit in a chat that's not even about you saying, and she's going to know who she is. Can we bash Carla Farla Doxer now? And when Wendy's like 2 sentences back saying, yeah, let's do that. I mean, come on, grow the hell up. The chat wasn't even about me, but oh no, my name had to get brought up. I mean, grow the F up. Well, yeah, well, that gives them content, right? Oh yeah, she was like all for it. Let's bash Carla. Even though I haven't talked about her. since she doxed her ex-husband, put it up on her panel. You know, whatever. It's just like when Ash 274 came in here and said what she said, just from hearing, you know, secondhand or third hand something, and she ran with it like it was like true. And it wasn't even, it was taken out of context. It wasn't even the way I had meant it. But oh well, you know, try and defend yourself. Drama DC community, leave people alone. If they are not bothering you, leave all of us. Oh, thank you, Gemma. Thank you. The haters can suck it. Yeah, that's what I say. Well, every once in a while, yeah, and I do believe that. But every once in a while, you have to stand up. Here's the thing: got to stand up for what's right. Playing someone's private messages or private voice calls or private putting your private messages on display is wrong. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you said privately. It's like putting your Discord on display for everybody to see. When you think you're talking privately with someone, you're talking privately with that person. You're not meant, it's not meant to be on the internet for everybody to see. And you're not going to change. Like I said before, and get this, get this stick in your head. You're not going to change. I'm not going to change anybody's mind about me. If they hate me now, they're going to hate me 2 years from now. You're not, and the same light, you're not going to change my mind about someone I like. So there's that, you know, but you know, it's all got to be, we got this and we got that on you. And then it's a production. If you notice, it was a production. It was leading up. It was like it was like a threat. You know what I mean? I'm going to put this up at such and such a time. And I've had that happen to me before. And I'm telling you, it's not funny. It's not funny. The only thing I say to Tiffany that she should do is just ignore it. Because really, the people that already hate her are not going to change their minds. They're not going to, they're not going to think what they're doing is wrong because they all stick together over there. And that's the way it is. Thank you so much, Gemma. I appreciate that. But that's the way it is. I want Deborah with that ugly car of hers on my panel. Who's Deborah? I don't know Deborah. Wait, who's Deborah? Notice this came out when she hit 13. Yeah. And I thought about that too. I thought, is this about what she said? Because they've had this for a while. Or is it because it's jealousy? And sometimes I think it's jealousy. Like, who cares? Who cares what she did? I don't know when it was, a year ago or a year and a half ago. Who cares? We're supposed to forget that stuff, remember? It's a woman on YouTube that runs her mouth. It's her YouTube name, Deborah something. Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm like so far removed from the drama anymore that I just try to like distance myself from these people. But I think what was done yesterday, it was 4 or 5 years ago, Carla. That happened 4 or 5 years ago, Cindy. Oh my God. And they're just bringing up, they had it all that time. Well, then that's not making them look any better if they had it all that time and never released it till just now. Like, that makes you look even shittier if it was 4 or 5 years ago. Like, wow. I had no idea. And to threaten somebody for that long, wow. Like, over the course of a couple days, like, I'm going to release this, I'm going to release this. And it was just like a coming soon. Like, it was ridiculous. I'm not watching that bullshit. Sorry. I'm just not. It's hard to keep your mouths shut, even if they are not bothering me. It's the stuff they say and do that triggers me. Well, I know, like what they did to Mark. Did he ever get an apology for them saying that he was that veto guy? I don't think so. I don't think so. They were supposed to show proof. Where's the proof? And now they're going after like different people. Mojo is being trolled. They're accusing Unknown Capone of being a certain troll account. But they never show the proof. And whatever happened to receipts or it never happened? I'm so sick of them being the only ones that say receipts or it never happened. Okay, receipts or it never happened. My brother Mark Terry from Alabama. Yes, she is, Jojo. Yes, she changed her name. All this over something that happened 4 or 5 years. I can't believe it was 4 or 5 years ago. Not one of them was outraged over that. That's what I mean. Where were they then? Why didn't they expose it then? If they were so outraged at what she did. All this over something that happened 4 or 5 years ago, but not one of them was outraged over what was exposed 6 months ago. What was exposed 6 months ago? I'm sorry, I'm lost. Cindy out. What was exposed 6 months ago? Mandy said he's not that veto guy. They attacked a guy for no reason. That's why they left him alone, because they knew they messed up. Well, but they should have apologized to him, because they systematically tried to destroy a man's reputation. You don't do that. You don't know what kind of frail piece of state of mind this guy is in. Oh, St. Jude. Oh yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. Everything's okay what Diane did. Yeah, and then, first of all, they were what was I saying? Can you call her Tiffany and not Tiffers? I hate that's what those idiots call her on here. They all had a criminal past and they are forgiven, so they need to forgive Tiffany, and they are here judging and saying who's a bad Christian and who's a good Christian. I know. And here's the thing with Brian too, and I'm not saying Brian's innocent, because he does some things that horrify me sometimes, but they poke and poke and poke and poke, and when he bites back, they get pissed off. Oh, Brian, you're attacking this or you're attacking that. After you've gone on, because I know I've been the subject of your damn bullying. You do it until someone can't take it anymore. You people are disgusting. You're not even worth a breath it takes to even address you. In God's badass Christian, okay. God knows I'm a good person, but he also knows I got a badass mouth. Me too. Yeah, I don't want anybody disrespected in this chat. It's just because, and I have nothing against you, but them calling her Tiffers, because that's how they insult her, and I don't want that done in here. You don't need to do that. I have no idea. Ash, did you, or Rep Ash, did you see what Ash 274 said? I don't know. I was never in your private Discord, so I don't know who does and who doesn't. Hey, Brian. Are you home today or are you working? Oh, you don't see her? Remember back in our Ben days, 2 girls made their mark? You know who I mean. Oh, I definitely know. Ash says you're lying. I don't know why. Oh, you're working? She wants Ash 274 out. Straps Adventures. You guys, I'm not. Who's Straps Adventure? Oh, God. Ugh. Jojo says, bri. I just think getting that much pleasure out of listening to a private phone call is sick. And that's my opinion. And I have a right to have my opinion. Hey, Texas girl. How you doing? I mean, it's the whole thing on here is to bash somebody and just go after them. Why? What pleasure are you getting out of it? I'll tell you what, I was in John's live for about a total of like 5 minutes and I couldn't watch it. I'm like, this is a private phone call. I'm not listening to that. Talked about what, Rep Ash? We don't all have a criminal past, and that's not even the point. Please stop spreading that we all have criminal pasts. That was Ash 274, Rep Ash. I don't know. I was never in your Discord. I don't know what you guys talked about privately. Oh, because she has 13,000 subs. Someone jealous? Yeah, I wondered when that was going to happen because her sub count went up so fast, but she wasn't into the drama. She was just talking true crime. So, and whether you like her true crime or not, that's too bad. She does it her way, and she's allowed to do it her way. Everybody's allowed to do their true crime the way they want to on here. They live and breathe that stuff, Carla, instead of actually living. I understand. Some of you have talked about it, so you're forgiven. So forgive Tiffany. That's what Rep Ash said, Ash 274. I don't know. I was never in those Discords, nor do I want to even comment on that because I wasn't in there. But Rep Ash has never lied to me. So, and you guys all believe what Trisha said about me doxing everybody and their dogs on YouTube. So, I'm not allowed to defend myself with her because you all like her. Everything she does is okay. It's not about criminal past or criminal charges or forgiveness. And it's not about subs. What's it about then? What was the point of airing out a conversation from 4 years ago? Like, it's ridiculous. Why can some people do like the most disgusting things on here and get forgiven, and other people can't even defend themselves, and then they're bashed and totally annihilated for just defending themselves? I know you're not, Ash. We've always been cool. It's just that I just don't get the double standard, and I'm allowed to have my own opinion. And you're allowed to have your own opinion. Has Tiffany messed with you guys? Ash, Republican Ash is asking. Hey, Stoker's Adventures. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome, welcome. God, I might have to make... Yeah, me too. Again, there's no video on there. Said there was. What are you talking about? Oh, Cindy. I'm not attacking Tiffany. I don't do a thing to Tiffany. I proved my issue with Tiffany. I just went for a little bonus. It's about how she treats people. I think she's trying to get away from that, though. Ash, to be honest, to be fair, she did try to step away from the drama. I think you're guilty by association on here. If you're friends with certain people, you're guilty of being, of being like dirty like they are. Or I'm not saying anybody's dirty. Please don't take it the wrong way, but you're guilty of doing whatever they're guilty of doing. But she hasn't addressed you guys in a month. So why all the videos and lives? Why? I think Brian kind of said it. Remember Hello Starlight's teeny panties? What are you talking about, Brian? I have no clue what you're talking about. Joy, you got my address, right? I sent it to you. I texted it to you. Everyone on here treats each other like crap, except a few. Yeah. I try to be fair, but it's sometimes hard. It's really hard when you've trusted someone with something private and they stab you in the back. It's really hard. It's really hard to keep your... Remember John attacked... Oh, I remember that. When she cried. Wasn't that on Diane's panel? That was a while ago. I didn't realize the story and the lives are just reactions to what she said in the voice clips. It's kind of shocking seeing how she has treated people. On 180 skin color. See, I didn't want to get involved. I thought that was too controversial for me to get involved in, because if you dare, show or voice an opinion, sometimes you're ostracized or I kind of like to address what affects me personally. But what happened last night on John's panel affected a lot of people that I'm very close to. Brian, I'm well aware of it, and that was all settled, and I don't care about 180. He can handle himself. Hey, Pink. Catching up, sitting in doctor's office, bored, waiting. Sorry about morbid. I feared it was lung cancer. From the time they called the ambulance to get her to the hospital, Pink, was 9 hours before she passed. So she didn't even stay overnight. It's amazing how fast it went. She was only diagnosed in mid-July. Rep Ash, I answered you. I'm not harassing her. No one is on her page. No one is in her lives. Ain't messed with the girl. Anyways, you guys need to forgive her from her crime past, just like some of you guys that admit that you guys had a past and forgive. That's my point. Yeah. True. That's true. I mean, you have to admit it. Some people have done shitty things on here and been forgiven. So, I mean, to be honest with you, I listened to maybe a minute of John's and I'm like, no, I can't listen to anymore because it was private. And I know how I felt when my private messages were aired on a certain other person's live, and I know how I felt. So I'm not going to watch someone else, someone else air someone else's messages on here. I just know I don't want to. That's for me. I heard I went back to beginning. She had a terrible cough. I had noticed. Poor Mort. Pink, I had harped on her about that smoking too for a long time, for years. Yeah. He's so broken. He really is. My aunt died of the same cancer and went in 3 months. So yeah, July, August, September. Hers is like 2 months. But they thought, after she was diagnosed, they didn't think it was going to be that long. They thought she was going to get treatments and she was going to be okay. Not okay, but at least she's going to be able to have a fighting chance. They are allowed to react to what they heard. They have all been affected by Tiffany personally. But I think what people are asking, Ash, now is why now? Why didn't they react to it? If this was from 3 or 4 years ago and they're so outraged now, why weren't they outraged then? I think that's what a lot of people are having. 13 subs in 5 months. Y'all have a seat. Brian, I can't keep I'm telling you, I go up 3 subs one day and I'm down 4 the next. I was shocked to hear about Morbid. I even went back and watched an old stream of hers where we joked around. It was nice to see again. Yeah, I went all the way back. Even watched some of the streams where her and I were fighting. But I take some comfort in knowing, because I texted her privately. And the last thing I said to her was, I love you. And the last thing she said to me in a text that was private was, I love you too. So I have that. And I have those texts and I will keep them. So she stayed in her own little corner of YouTube. She wanted nothing to do with all this drama. And I think, and I'm not trying to put this, not trying to say anything against Laura. I think Laura brought her into it one time and she was pissed because she did not want any kind of controversy. She did not want to be involved in any kind of drama on YouTube. Just did not want it. Because it just came out. The convo happened a year ago, I think. But no one heard it till yesterday or even knew about it. I have no clue. Well, according to Cindy, it was 3 or 4 years ago. So I don't know. I mean, is it really all that interesting to watch? You could just get the whole point across by saying, this is what happened and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Do you have to air it? Funny trolls would go in her dress and make her laugh. Yeah, she did laugh at funny trolls. Anyways, Carl, I will be listening. I got to get ready and get this day started. Feeding 65 people today at lucky you. I hope it's not too hot. According to Tiffany, she has all the video. Oh, really? Well, but where was the audio? Who got the audio? I mean, where did the audio come from? I have no clue. I'm so lost. Hey, Dana. Hey, Dana, banana. Hi, everybody. I wish I could stay, but I'm on my way to occupational therapist for my broken hand. So good to see everybody. Dana, did you hear 3 of my grandchildren and my daughter-in-law have COVID? The 5-year-old brought it home from kindergarten. So I'm trying to be optimistic. It's the 5-year-old is really sick and my daughter-in-law is really sick. So I'm hoping I'm hoping the 9-month-old has it and the 8-year-old has it, but they so far haven't been really sick from it. So I would go in with funny alt and we would just laugh and laugh. I always told her it was me. Oh, you know what, Ash? I do remember that. I do remember that. Yeah. Thank you, Dana. It was, I was actually on a voice call in Discord. My husband called me from work to tell me, like, you're never going to guess this, but the little one brought COVID home from school, and now all 3 of the kids have it. Well, 3. They have 4, but 3 of the kids have it, and my daughter-in-law. But so far, it's the 5-year-old and my daughter-in-law that are really sick from it. So if you guys can say a prayer for them, their family. My stepson runs a business. He can't go in because he can't risk the chance of infecting anybody in case he gets it. They're all in quarantine now. Hey, Ginger. How you doing? Anyways, that was just my opinion about everything. I think too, I think a lot of people too are upset about people accusing people of being different troll accounts when they have no proof, trying to ruin a man's reputation. I think it's kind of sucky. Oh, you did? Oh my God, thank God you got over it. Worst headache ever, fever and some aches for about 3 days when it was gone. Yeah. I just, you got to worry about the kids. I worry about the kids. I'm worried about my daughter-in-law too, and my stepson, because they're, they got their shots like before we did because they're obese. And I guess that's one of the risk factors when you're obese, because they got their shots before we ever did. I hate using that word obese because it sounds so disrespectful, but because they're like so much overweight, they got their shots before we did. So we thought, we're like everybody else. We thought they were okay. And so she has some underlying factors. Plus, she just had surgery for cervical cancer. So she's not in the best of health. You know what I mean? So hopefully, I don't know. It's just one thing after another. They say bad things come in threes, and I don't want anything else to go wrong in our family. It's just bad. And talking to Morbid Angel's boyfriend last night was really therapeutic for me, because I found out everything that I was wondering about, and that she wasn't alone. She had both him and his father there on each side of her bed. She was so out of it. He said she didn't know what was going on. Her eyes were closed. It was like she was sleeping until the very end. When she passed, she opened her eyes and looked at him, and that was it. She was gone. You got kicked out of Wendy's Discord? I can't even sleep now. Why? Why'd you get kicked out, Brian? Oh, I don't even have to ask why you got kicked out. You probably said something stupid. Sorry, Brian. But you shoot yourself in the foot sometimes. My kiddo had the least symptoms. He had a slight fever for a day, and that was it. The mister had it worse. He had a bad cough, and he was sick for about a week, but no hospital stays in O2 was good. Well, that guy that works with my husband that had to go, caught it, his daughter brought it home from school. now needs a double lung transplant. So it takes some people real, and listen, this guy was in the army. He was physically fit, never drank, never smoked, and now he needs a double lung transplant. Ginger Lock says, I was really sick with COVID. Hey, Natalie. Catch it in mid-October, and I was hospitalized twice. I'm still feeling it. So the deviants are kicking in. This isn't like a bad flu. Carla, baby girl, immune system is more powerful toward the virus. See, and I have been, and knock on wood, I've been always healthy. Like I've never, besides getting the staph infection that I had that they got rid of, that I had to have surgery for, I've never really had health issues. So yeah, I'm pretty glad about that. But you never know when you can get it. Look, we were planning on going and visiting this weekend. Like, what if they didn't find out? We could have caught it. Hey, Jam, how are you, sweetie? So you just never know. I mean, we could have caught it there. Who knows? My husband was fit. He worked 20 hours a day in February, but it hit him hard quickly. Exactly, Joy. I'm just saying, like, you just don't know who it's going to hit, who's, it's not always the elderly. There, and someone was saying yesterday, and I can't remember who was telling me that the younger people are seeming to get it hard now. I don't know. I mean, before it was like people with underlying health conditions and, older people like me. And now it's just like the younger people seem to be getting it. I hope you all feel better soon. It's crazy how different this thing can be. Nikki's husband healthy in 44, I think, in 6 days and gone. Yeah, well, the guy that worked with my husband was in the hospital for 3 months. And towards the end, because his daughter was 11 years old and couldn't go in the hospital, towards the end, they thought he was going to pass away, because towards the end, they started allowing her to go in because they didn't think he was going to make it because of how bad it was. So she would be allowed to go in the hospital like certain times. And then the doctor told his wife, he's not going to survive unless he has a double lung transplant. But he can't. They won't even consider him he's deferred off the list because he's not healthy enough. They're not going to give you a double lung transplant if they don't think you can survive the surgery. So, so he's got to get himself where he can walk a certain amount and do all this stuff. It's crazy. And the guy was fit. Like, he worked right up until he worked. I mean, there was only 5 people in my husband's office because they all each had their own, offices. The age group that is concerning is the 55 to 65. That is what I was told by I was monitored every day and had to report to them via email. And if I did not, by noon, they called me. Oh, I don't know. I've been so lucky that you know what? This last year and a half is the healthiest I've been in a long time. So I don't know. Maybe because I just self-quarantined and stayed in the house. I mean, it got to the point where I thought I was going to have agoraphobia, because I would go and I would get into my car and I would turn around and come right back in because I was scared to go anywhere. I was scared to touch things. I was at the beginning of COVID when I really took it seriously, because in the beginning I didn't take it seriously. When I started to take it seriously, I was wearing rubber gloves, mask. I would go in, get what I needed to get, wash it when I got it home. I took it. I really didn't want to go anywhere. I was, yeah. But anyways, I wanted to let you guys know a little bit about what I had talked about with Angel's boyfriend last night, because we had a really nice long talk, and you can take comfort in knowing that she wasn't alone. She had both him and his father by her bed when she passed. She didn't stay in the hospital for an extended period of time. It was 9 hours from the time she got in there to the time she passed. So he said by the time, because I asked, was she aware what was going on, like when they had called the ambulance? And he goes, from the time they had called the ambulance, she was unaware of anything. She was just non-responsive. So, yeah. But I'm just glad the last thing I said to her was, I love you. Like that, oh, and her daughters have seen the memorial I made for her, the memorial video. I haven't seen, they love it. She's not going to have, she didn't want a memorial service. There's no place to send her flowers. Thank you, Joy. There's no place to send flowers unless it changes. And he said he will let me know if it changes. I gave him my email, so. Some days are like yesterday and Sundays are okay. Yeah. Oh, guys. Does anybody have plans for the weekend? So I guess I got out what I wanted to say, and I'm probably going to get bashed for it because, I don't agree with everybody. I just don't think, I don't see the point in just, myself. It's my opinion. I just don't see the point in playing a video or audio of someone. And that's, I have a right to my opinion on that. But I think I'm going to close down right now. I'm done.